Hello, welcome to the first of many to our Heavy Bassix interview series. Today we are proud to have Tristan from Truth, NZ dubstep royalty.
Yo, yo, what's up?
He's known for the record label Deep, Dark and Dangerous. How's it going? What's the weather like in Christchurch?
Dude, it's a beautiful day today. Yeah, like really nice. It's been warm. How about yourself, mate? Whereabouts are you now? Auckland?
We're over in Newmarket, and
Oh yeah,
it's
nice.
a nice warm day over here too. Yeah.
Beautiful.
What did you get up to over the weekend? I saw you had some shows.
Yeah, I had one show this weekend up in Wellington for the Breaking Beats crew. So they were part of a street sort of block party there on Cuba Street called Cuba Duper, and they put on a basically an outdoor car park converted into a rave. It was sick. It was like 800 people in the middle of Wellington. Alex Perez was there as well. Artificial Intelligence was playing
Oh
too.
wow, cool.
And then the Breaking Beats crews, which are all super talented. So yeah, it was really dope. Those guys are always super cool to go and hang out with and play for.
Yeah, Breaking Beats always doing massive gigs lately.
Seriously, I did one with them during winter. It was called the Winter Meltdown, and that one had some ridiculous amount of people. I mean, their biggest ever show, and he had Andy C there a few weeks ago, and he was just like, "How can we top the Winter Meltdown? We just have to try." And he's like, "We did." But
Yeah.
those shows are just, yeah, it's where have they come from? It's amazing. Like it's really cool to see.
So, where does your inspiration come from to make music?
Where does my inspiration come from to make music? Ooh, that's a very broad and deep question. I mean, I definitely have a sort of inner compulsion that kind of forces me to like have to make music. Um, if I haven't been in the studio for a while, I start to get a little bit anxious, a little bit stressed out. Kind of like some people do yoga to chill out.
Yeah, you're a bit of a machine. You're working on the Truth label, and then you've got your own side project, the Deep, Dark and Dangerous, which has taken
Yeah,
off, and there's some major players coming through on that brand.
yeah. I mean, the deep, dark, and dangerous thing is just going from strength to strength. We have a super solid release schedule lined up. We've had a lot of releases I'm really proud of that we've put out already. A lot more vinyl coming out too, which is always exciting because releasing a vinyl is a very big process, you know, from the mastering to the making of the metal stampers. It's a big thing. So we're trying to do like one record, one vinyl record per month, plus
Wow.
one digital EP a month. Since sort of the coronavirus pandemic, our Twitch channel's just gone crazy. We've gone up from about 500 to 1,000 followers prior. Now we've got like 35,000 followers on there.
Wow.
And I mean, that's kind of been our, you know, touring history for the last year, aside from here in New Zealand. I mean, Dre lives in America, the other half of Truth. He hasn't left the house. I mean, he didn't leave the house for about 8 months, pretty much. And now
Wow.
he hasn't toured for over a year as a result of being locked down. Pretty much turned our sort of band slash label merch into like a full-on fashion label. So he's put out like bags, sports jerseys, sublimated stuff, pants, shorts, hoodies, hats. It's like his full-time job, apart from making music. So that's been quite cool because now he's like, I've got a business now, which is a clothing business, and
Hmm.
I can be a little bit more careful as far as what gigs to take and not just like accept any crazy offer for something that, you know, maybe you don't really vibe with the promoter or don't believe in what they're pushing or whatever it is. Looking forward for
Well,
the next
that's
12
really
months.
cool that you've managed to adapt to the coronavirus.
I mean, it's
Obviously,
been a
it's
necessity.
affected the
Yeah,
world quite big, quite large,
huge.
and
Yeah.
there's other ways that you can run in the music industry. So that's good to
Yep.
hear. What artists are you interested in working with in the future? If you've got any new ideas
Are
coming
you
through
talking about collaboratively with Truth,
with
or
Truth?
I wonder who would be cool to work with? Yeah, I haven't really thought about it too much actually.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, moving
I
on.
just like making music, and I mean, there's a few things in the works that are pretty cool. I wrote pretty much an EP with Jay Kenzo when he was here. We've got an EP in the works with Ganja White Knight, who are sort of a kind of a bit of a crossover act with our sound, but also a lot more kind of popular oriented in the States, I guess you could say. Like
Oh, nice.
they're pretty dope. They're actually promoting a gig at Red Rocks this year, which they booked us for. That was supposed to be in April last year. It's been postponed about 5 times now, but it's
Oh
actually
my
happening.
god.
So It'll be our first time playing at that crazy legendary venue, Red Rocks,
Cool,
which is
cool.
near Denver.
Tell us something. What is something wacky or crazy that has happened to you on tour? What's the craziest, wackiest thing that you've
Man,
come across?
I can't tell you the craziest ones. I'm sworn to a vow of secrecy about those things.
Yeah,
But
not those ones.
no, no. What's some great like? Okay, one time I was. This isn't particularly crazy, but I was at a gig and in New York City, and this dude came up to me with a piece of like sort of jib. Well, it was kind of like plaster. Um, and he was like, "Can you please sign this?" And I was like, "Okay, sure." I signed it. And he was like, "That was part of the ceiling that fell off during your set."
Wow, that's cool.
I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, the bass like vibrated this fucking like big chunk of like plaster off the ceiling, and then fucking signed it." And then a few years later, I was at a gig in Nashville, and this chick came up to me and she was like, "Do you remember signing a piece of the ceiling for a kid at a gig?" And I was like, "Not really." And then she told me the story, and I was like, "Oh my God, I do remember that." And she's like, "That's my best friend, my roommate." And so, yeah.
Wow, that's cool memory. Awesome, that's really cool. Um, do you have any tips or advice to give our aspiring artists watching now?
Okay, first of all, if you're an aspiring producer or artist that's just getting started, know that you're going to keep improving no matter what you're doing. The more work you put in, the better you're going to get. Don't get put off by people turning you down rather, or saying no, or not being interested in working with you. Who gives a fuck about what they're up to?
Yeah,
You're on your own journey. Like, take people's feedback on board, but only to a certain extent. Like, you know yourself the best, right? All your friends are going to be like, "Whoa, that's amazing." All the labels you send stuff to start with, they're going to be like, "Oh yeah, it's a pass for now." That doesn't. Who cares? Like, do this for you. Like, it's your journey. I feel like that's self motivation is super important.
yeah. You
No
just
one
got to
else is
keep on trying.
exactly, and you've got no bigger champion than yourself. Don't try and be someone else. Be yourself.
Awesome. All right, so I hear you're working on a new video release. Do you have anything you could share with us how this idea came together?
So this is a drum and bass, unashamedly drum and bass track. It's of the more liquid, chilled variety.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah,
It's cool. You guys originally were a drum and bass act before
that's right.
Truth, so you're kind of going back to your OG roots.
Yeah, exactly.
And
And the thing about it is, we've always made D&B or even just like half step kind of like 170 BPM music, and we've released a whole lot as Truth. But this particular EP was the first time we put a whole release out of that sound, and I mean it's the truth. It still sounds like Truth, obviously, because we made it,
yeah,
but it was a bit of a divergence. And part of the reason we did it was because, well, it's during this lockdown, and we have all this music sitting here, and fuck it, why not just release some music people can listen to at home?
well, that's so cool. I'm so looking forward to hearing it because it's D&B. I'm a big
Yeah,
D&B fan, but I
yeah.
love your dubstep as well. You guys just got your
Cheers,
own
brother.
signature sound there, like
Well, there's plenty more of
powerful.
that to come. We've got an album we've just finished, so that's dropping in a few months, which is pretty exciting too.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thanks again, Tristan. I'm very humbled to
Hell
have you
yeah.
as our first Heavy Bassix interview for this new series that we've got going on. So yeah, just thank you very much for your time.
Hey, dude, thank you, bro, and like all the best for the rest of the series too. I'm sure it's going to be just one to watch, eh? So stoked about that.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to this new video release. So I hope you have a good rest of your day,
You
and
too, brother.
and we'll be in touch. Yeah.
Yeah, good to
Awesome.
chat and see your face too, bro.
Yeah, good to see you too.